Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I hope all of you are doing well. There's a chat box on Zoom as well. You can use it. Yes. Good evening, Meenal. We'll start the session in a while. We'll wait for some people to join in. Good evening. Good evening. We will wait for a couple more minutes. We're waiting for students to join in. Okay, I think we'll start the session. So, in the previous class, we had started with a new chapter, right? A new unit, which is dissolution of partnership firms. So, here we have already discussed about the realization account, how the realization account is prepared, and how the books are closed at the end of the year. So we already did a couple of questions also. I discussed two questions also with you, and I gave you one homework question also, which is practice question one. So we'll do that question. I'll do that question. Practice question one. We will do now quickly. The ones who've done, see if your solution is right. If not, please do it with me now. If you haven't tried it yesterday. So PQ and R are partners sharing profits and losses as two is to two is to one. Their balance sheet as on 31st March 22 is as follows. They have given the capital accounts, PQR, reserve fund is given, creditors, plant and machinery, fixtures, stocks, and debtors, cash. They decided to dissolve the business. The following are the amounts realized. Plant and machinery is there. I hope I'm audible, guys. You can use the chat box. You can the chat box, right? You can use it. You can say, "Am I audible? Yes or no?" Please answer that question. Good evening to everyone. Join just now. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So they decided to dissolve the business. The following are the amounts realized. Plant and machinery is there. Fixtures are sold. Stock is sold. Sanitators have paid some money. Creditors allowed a discount of 5% and realization expenses amounted to 1,500. There was an unrecorded asset of 6,000 which was taken over by Q at 4,800. An amount of 4,200 due for GST came to the notice during the course of realization and this was also paid. You're required to prepare the realization account, partners capital account, and cash account is what they have told us to do. Okay, let's do this problem. This was the question that I told you to try yesterday. How many of you tried? Did anyone try this question on your own? Did you try this question on your own? Yes or no? If it's a no, it's okay. If it's a yes, you can tell me. Yes. Okay, just one. Just Sneha. Sneha tried. No, no one else. No, do not try. Look at you, shameless. Okay, so we'll do that question now. Why? Why did you try? Abhilash, Manya, what stopped you? Vekkata banta. Yes. One second. Let me add that question. Okay, we'll do it. Ready? Draw the three accounts: realization account, partners capital account, and cash account. Format Haki. Realization account. How many partners are there? Have you kept the question open? Practice question one. Are you all doing it with me? How many partners are there? How many partners do we have in the question? One, two, three. Three partners. What are the names of the partners? PQR, is it? Yes. And lastly, we also need what account? Cash account? Yes, cash account. Okay. Let's start. I hope everyone is ready with the ledgers. Let's look at the question. Let's start dismantling the balance sheet, the process, right? So dismantling plant and machinery will go to realization, debit side, debit balance. So to plant and machinery, 1,02,000. Next, fixtures will go to the debit side of the realization account, 24,000. Next, stock will be going to the debit side of the realization account, 60,000. Sunny debtors, realization account, debit side, 48,000. Cash, debit side of the cash account, opening balance, two balance brought down. What is the amount of cash? 60,000. Next, liability, similarly, capital accounts, partners capital account, buy balance brought down, credit side. 120, 48, 24. Reserve fund. What will we do with the reserve fund? Reserve fund will be distributed among all the partners in their profit sharing ratio, which is 2:2:1. I don't have calculator with me. You have to help me today with all the calculations. So tell me 2:2:1 ratio, Delhi, what will be the amount by reserve fund? 60,000 and 2:2:1. I can't go ahead without you telling me the amounts. What are the amounts? Don't hesitate. You're scared of me, or are you guys worried? Scared of me? Like, do I look scary? 24,000. Yes, thank you, Pranjal. 24,000. And what is the last one? 12,000. Right. So reserve fund I took. Creditors will go to the realization account. Okay. Thank you, Sneha. Thank you, Meenal. By creditors. 48,000. Done. We are done with the dismantling of the balance sheet. Balance sheet hoodie ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ತು. Next, what do we do? Next, we look at the realizations, various realizations. They decided to dissolve the business. The following are the amounts realized. Plant and machinery, this is all the sales money realized. So the entry is bank account debit to realization by bank. Or rather here cash, no? So we'll write by cash. No bank account, cash account ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. Plant and machinery is 1,08,000, is it? Oh, sorry. Thank you, Manya. See, like this, if you tell me, I will. Some mistakes I do on purpose. This was on purpose. I was just seeing if you guys are noticing, if you guys are seeing or not, are you just copying? So purposefully, ನಾನು ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ mistake ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ to check you. This was by purposely I did this. Okay, now plant and machinery 1,02,000. ಇನ್ನೆಂತಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಬಾರಿ purposely mistake. Everything else is fine. Okay. Plant and machinery. By cash, here it's 1,02,000. Next, fixtures. 18,000. Next, stock. 84,000. Next, sundry debtors. 44,400. 44,400. If given something down below, credit is allowed a discount of 5%. So this is payment. This will come on the other side. Realization expenses, other side. There was an unrecorded asset of 6,000, which was taken over by Q. Q was a partner, so we're not getting money for this. If you had got money for this, I would have written it over here only. Unrecorded asset in the Barita. But here it is taken over by Q. So I'll have to write by Q's capital account, not by bank account or cash account. We're not getting money for it. So by Q's capital account at the Barita. An amount of 4,200 due for GST had come to notice during the course of realization, and this was also paid. Again, that's a payment. It will come on the opposite side. Please tell me the total. Have you totaled it? Or can you total it and tell me the total? Is it 2,48,400? Yes, thank you. Okay, next, there was an unrecorded asset, no? Here, this one, 6,000 was taken over by. There was an unrecorded asset of 6,000, which was taken over by Q at 4,800. So it is a gain for us. It will be credited in the realization account. We will write over here by Q's capital account. What is the amount I should write? Should I write 6,000 or should I write the takeover value? It was valued at 6,000, but it was taken over at 4,800. So how much is my gain? Then the gain is 6,000 or 4,800. How much should I be crediting the realization account? Very good. I should be crediting 4,800. Oh, let's post both of this. Adu kuda first one kuda nanu post madlilla. By cash account, I have to debit it to the cash account to realization account 2,48,400. And just now I debited Q's capital account to realization account 4,800. This was unrecorded asset taken over. This was assets realized. I have posted the debit aspect of those entries in respective accounts. Is that clear? Have you all understood this much? Yes. Next. So we are done with the assets. Now, creditors allowed a discount of 5%. So creditors is 48,000. They're allowed a discount of 5%. And we're making the payment. So to cash, the entry is realization account debit to cash account. So here creditors are paying how much? 95% of whatever value is there. 48,000 into 95%. How much do you get? Realization expense 1,500. How much is this value? 48,000 into 95,000. I don't have 95%. I don't have calculator. So I am completely dependent on you. Without you answering, I will not be able to do the question. No calculator ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. 45,600. Fantastic. There was an unrecorded asset of 6,000 which was taken over by Q at 4,800 Adaito. An amount of 4,200 due for GST had come to notice during the course of realization, and this was also paid. Again, another loss. GST. This was an unrecorded liability. 4,000 ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು ಇದು 4,200. Total of all of this, and tell me what is the total? Is it 49,800 plus 1,500? 51,300. Is that correct? Is the total right? Is it 51,300? Yes. ನೀವು ಹೀಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಿ. That what it will do is I will start doing mental calculations. My mental calculations will become better. And more the classes I take for you, I will become more of a mathematician, arithmetics, like that. That there was one lady, that human calculator. I will become like her. And then I will do all the mental calculations. And it's because of you guys, because you guys don't tell me the answer on time. Sir, what are you doing? Are you praising us? Are you shouting at us? Okay. Are we done? Post these entries. This one entry, cash account on the credit side by realization. What is the name of that human calculator? Do you know that at least? I forgot her name. 51,300. There was a movie also, no? Shakuntala Devi, yeah. Shakuntala Devi. So you'll make me the male version of Shakuntala Devi. Okay, done. So we're done. That's it. Now, just total up this account. Very simple question. Yeah, there was nothing in this. Total up this account, find out the balance. You could have tried this as homework. What are the totals? Which side is more, debit or credit? This much I can't do. This you have to do and tell me. Which side is more, debit side or credit side? Credit side is more. Realization gain. What's the total of the credit side? 3,01,200. And what is the balancing figure? Two partners capital account. 9,900. Is that right? Yes. PQR in the ratio of 2:2:1. That's their profit sharing ratio. Please calculate and tell me how much would it be? 1980, 3,800 for no 3,960, is it? Is it 39,603? Yes. Thank you. 1980. 9,900. Okay. Now credit it in the partner's capital account. Okay. Done. Now total of the partner's capital account, find out the balances. P total. What is the total of P? Debit side or credit side is more? According to me, the credit side is more. So there's no debit side anything. So 120, 144, 147, 960 is the total. So this money will be paid to him by the firm. We will have to make the payment to him. 147, 960. What about the next person? 75, 960 is the total. Balancing figure is how much? 71,160. Is the balancing figure correct? This is 37,980. Yes, 37,980. For all the three people, the firm will have to make payment because credit side is more in their account. That means the firm has a liability towards the partners to make the payment. So let's make the payment over here. By cash, we'll post it. By, okay, can you post it to the cash account and find out if the total matches? Cash account should tally. See if it tallies. Total it up, put it in the cash account, put the amounts in the cash account and see if it tallies. And tell me the total. If it tallies, tell me the total. Cash account total. What's the total? 3,08,400. Is it tallying? Are the debits matching with credits? Fantastic. By E's capital account 147,960. By Q's capital account 71,160. By R's capital account 3798. Screen is not visible. Yeah. Put on 1 second. Yeah, it should be back now. Not back. I just posted it. I just posted this to the cash account. I hope it's visible now. Yes. What's the total you had told me? 3,08,400. Three lakh 8,400. Alright. Wait. I'm connected. Okay. That's it. This is practice question 1. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Can I go to the next concept? I hope all of you are solving with me. You're doing the questions on your notebooks, right? We're solving it together, right? You're not just sitting and looking at the solution. You're not looking at like a movie. ಆರಾಮ್ se ಬೆಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಪ್ಕಾರ್ನ್ ತಿಂದದಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. All of you are doing it with me, right? ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ನೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ICI ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ only we're doing. So do it with me. Okay. Next ಈಗ we will be discussing. So one study mugdaagtade nam. You don't have to sit and study again the same thing, right? Practice ಮಾಡುವಾಗ this is done once for all done. Then you have to just revise. So ಒಮ್ಮೆ revise ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಈ 5 chapter ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Do it with me so that we're done with it once. Self study ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. We don't have to sit and do it again. Okay. Next practice ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು ನಾವು. Okay. Next concept is insolvency of a partner. You can put a heading. Insolvency of a partner. Yesterday, briefly, I told you. In fact, the second illustration was about insolvency. Although we ignored that point, we did it normally. I told you I'll discuss about insolvency in detail, right? So, insolvency of a partner means when a partner goes bankrupt. So, what may happen is during dissolution of the firm, the external liabilities ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಣ ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಹತ್ರ. So there could be a realization loss. Realization loss means ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ whatever assets we had sold, that assets is not realized enough to pay the outsiders. Liabilities ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಹಣ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಸಾಕಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ ನಾವು ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಲಾಸ್ ನಾವು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So that means these partners might have to get some money. ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಣ ತರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ from their personal bank accounts, from their personal assets. ಅವರ personal assets ಇಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಣ ತಗೊಂಡು ಫರ್ಮಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Because this is a distinctive feature of a partnership firm, sole proprietor ಅಲ್ಲ. Here the owners have unlimited liability. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ LLPs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುದಿಲ್ಲ. This problem comes only in the case of partnerships and sole proprietors. They have unlimited liability towards the business. Companies, in the case of companies we have studied, the owners have limited liability. So, business assets in the case of partnership, the owners will have to get money from their personal assets. Now, what if that person does not have? Yesterday we saw that question. Second question, I'll note it there now. Even in the first question, I think it happened First question was not a problem, they had money, but in the second question, we saw, here, we got the balancing figure like this. By bank account, not, this was the question, right? The second question. Yes. So here, they had to get some money, right? Our Hana Tarbekit, this one. Wait, I have to pay the wrong solution. Yesterday we did this. The solution of the firm. Yeah. This one. Here we had done it, isn't it? So yesterday we saw that P and Q had to get money to the firm. The debit side was more. Partners capital account only. The debit side was more. So for P, forget this. Forget the closing entries. It's just now see, for P, the debit side is more, it's 39,500. Credit side, some amount, 28,500 will be the amount. So balancing figure, how much did we get? The balancing figure was 11,000 for P. That means the debit side was more. The receivable was more from P for the firm. So it was 11,000 rupees. P had to get money. Similarly, R had to get money to the firm. R had to get 900 rupees. His debit side was 10,900. That is what he has to get to the firm, what he has to bring to the firm, receivables for the firm was 10,900. But credit in his account was only 10,000. So 900 rupees he had to get to the business at the point of dissolution. Now it may so happen that they might not have money. This guy might not have money. Who might not have money? Both P and R might not have money. Or in this question, they had said that R doesn't have money. What have they said? P and Q were fully solvent, unable to bring any cash required, but R was forced into bankruptcy and was only able to bring one third of the amount due. So here R did not have the money. He had to get how much? R had to get how much? R had to get 900 rupees. He was not able to get the whole amount. He had some cash, what have they said, and was only able to get one third of the money due. So how much is he able to get? He had to get 900 rupees. He was able to get one third. That means, can you tell me how much rupees is he able to get? Out of 900, they've said one third. He was able to get one third of his dues. So how much money is he getting? How much money can he get from his personal assets? He can bring 900 into 1 by 3. How much is it? 900 into 1 by 3. It is 300 rupees. So he was able to get 300 rupees to the firm. The remaining 600 he was not able to get. I hope everyone is listening to what I'm saying. Are you listening? This is very important. This is super important. You'll not be able to understand this later. A little tricky also. So please pay attention when I'm talking, when I'm discussing. I'm doing this through a question itself. I'm discussing the concept. So, Iliga, what happens is, I'll repeat again whatever I have said so far. So please pay attention. Carefully listen. So there might be a situation in the case of dissolution and the firm close aguvaga, there might be a situation where the partners might have to get money to the firm. They will have to bring money to the firm. Why will they have to get money to the firm? Because to pay off the liabilities, pay off the bank loans. So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಉಂಟು ಅದು ಸಾಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. In addition to that, they might have to get some more money from their personal assets. ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಹಣ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ from their personal assets. So in this example, in this question that we discussed yesterday, the second question, here also two people had to get money. Their money in the business was not enough, P and R. So their debit balance was 39,500 for P, debit side total was 39,500, and the credit side total was only 28,500. 39,500 means he had to get that much money. That money was towards accumulated losses. Then there was realization loss. So they'll now consider ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ 11,000 rupees ಹಣ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಫರ್ಮಿಗೆ. ಯಾರು P should have got 11,000 rupees to the firm. And similarly, R also should have got some money to the firm. R should have got 900 to the firm. Q, on the other hand, will get money from the firm. QV ke hana korteve now 7,500 because his credit balance was there in the firm. Now, in this situation, P should get 11,000 rupees to the firm. ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅವತ್ತು ತರಬೇಕಾ ಅವತ್ತು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ? How do we make that distinction? How do we know if that partner should get money, bring money to the firm, or should he take money? How do we get to know that? It'll depend on the balance, nature of balance in this account, right? If it's a debit balance, that means receivable from him. ಅವ ಹಣ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಫರ್ಮಿಗೆ. If it's credit balance, that means generally capital accounts of credit balance. That means the firm has to pay to the owner. Credit balance ಇದ್ರೆ liability ಫರ್ಮಿಗೆ, ಫರ್ಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹಣ. ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದ್ರೂ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ that means the partner should get money to the firm. Are you all understanding this? Have you all followed what I'm saying? So in this case, P and R had debit balances. That means they had to get money to the firm. P had to get 11,000, R had to get 900 to the firm. Now it may so happen, one situation arise agbodu that I asked for 900 rupees from R. R pocket ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಕಿದ ಚಿಲ್ಲರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ. ಅವ ಏನೋ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ, ರೋಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಲುದವ, ಗಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ. ಚಿಲ್ಲರೆ ಒಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು 300 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಒಟ್ಟಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅವ 900 rupees ತರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು from his personal assets, but this person does not have personal assets. He has only 300 rupees with him. So that time what we do was, now we can't, tell him kidney mari anata, liver mari the anata. We can't tell him like this, right? So that will be illegal. So now what to do? What to do in that case? Unlimited liability. Partners is unlimited liability. What do we do in that case? In that case, what I do was, so by bank account, for first we settle this fellow, okay, who the insolvent person. See, now I'm doing the same question a little differently now. Okay, we settle one person, ours account we settle. We calculate the balance. How much is the balance we get for R? Is to balance it to the R again. I'm doing the closing activity again for the question. Closing activity ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. Balancing figure ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. Just transactions ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. Now first R is account settle ಮಾಡುವ. Look at this. R ಇದ್ದು total is 10,900. Credit side is 10,000. So what is the balancing figure? Balancing figure is 900. But he will not be able to get 900. He will be able to get only 1/3 they had said in the question. So how much is he able to get? 300. He's able to get only 300. Sir, what about the remaining 600? Remaining 600 ಈಗ ಯಾರಿಂದ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು? ಈಗ 900 ತರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ 900 ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ 300 ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರೋದು. Remaining 600, who will bring this out? The remaining 600 will be can we tell our liabilities that ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಹಣ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ? No. The other two partners are there. No. They will have to contribute to the firm. ಅವರು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಫರ್ಮಿಗೆ. ಈಗ ಇವಂದು ಕೂಡ 600. It will be split among the remaining partners. So what will we do is, we will reduce the remaining partners. P's capital account will be debited. Q's capital account will be debited to R's capital account. Actually, bank account debit to R's capital account ಬರಿಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ನಾನು for full 900 rupees. But R hatra hana illa. So that is why I can't debit bank account. So what we do is we shift that 600 deficiency loss to the other two partners. So can the other two partners scream saying the namdalla? No, they have unlimited liability. Partnership formally unlimited liability. So now they will have to get that money, the remaining 600 rupees, they will have to get. In what ratio? This has been a very significant court case was there over here. How to split this? The deficiency ಈಗ 600 rupees deficiency ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆರಿಗೆ 600 rupees ತರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. So now I split that deficiency. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು deficiency ಅನ್ನು distribute ಮಾಡಿದೆ to the other two partners, to the remaining partners. ಅದು ಯಾವ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Okay, generally understandable, reasonable understanding ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾವು ಹೋಗೋದಿದ್ರೆ profit sharing ratio ದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡೋದು. What is the profit sharing ratio between the two partners? The profit sharing ratio between P and Q. Ibru matra alla R share now split ಮಾಡ್ತಾ Profit sharing ratio is 3:2. How much do you get? 600 into 3:2 ratio del ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 3/5 and 2/5. Can you tell me the amounts? What will be the amounts? 600 into 3/5. What is the amount? Just put the amount in the chat box. We're waiting. 600 into 3/5. Is it 360? And Q is how much? 600 into 2/5. 240. Okay. So ಈಗ ಇವಂದು 600 rupees loss ಅನ್ನು ಇವರಿಬ್ರು ಬೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. It is like this. You go to a restaurant. ಮೂರ್ ಜನ friends. Let's say I, Karthik and Abhilash go to a restaurant. ನಾವು ಮೂವರು ರೆಸ್ಟೋರೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಂತೇವೆ. We eat nicely. ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಿಲ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. So in that, let's say the bill is 1,500 rupees. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಂದ್ವಿ. I, Abhilash and Karthik. And the bill was rupees 1,500. All three had eaten equally. So we divided it by 3. We said 500, 500, 500 ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. 500 rupees each. Now Abhilash is saying, sir, 500 rupees illa ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ. 500 rupees illa ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ. See, originally ಹೀಗೆ Adarsh, Abhilash, Karthik 500 ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. Abhilash is saying, sir, I don't have 500, but I have 100 rupees. So he's paying 100 rupees. So his 400 rupees also now we will have to bear. Otherwise now ನಮಗೆ ಹಣ ಸಾಕಾಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ನವನಿಗೆ. ನಾನು 500, Abhilash 500, Karthik 500, sorry, Abhilash 100, ನಾನು 500, Karthik 500 ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ 1,100 ಆಯ್ತು. ಟೋಟಲ್ 1,500 ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. Abhilash ಇದ್ದು 400 rupees he has not paid. So now we can't tell the restaurant guy that we don't have enough money, take 1,100, Abhilash is not paying. We can't say that. We have to still pay him 1,500. So what we will do, otherwise we will have to sit and wash vessels there. So what we will do in that case now, this 400 rupees also will be borne by the remaining guys. So I will bear the remaining 200, he will have to bear the remaining 200, Karthik. So I will end up paying 700, Karthik will pay 700, and Abhilash will pay 100. Same thing happens even in the case of partnership. If one partner is not able to get the money, it will be distributed, it will be debited to the other two solvent partners. ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಹಣ ಉಂಟು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೇ ವಸೂಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಉಳಿತದೆ. ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕೂಡ ಹಣ ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ಎಂತ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಆಗ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸೆಟಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಲೋನ್ ಲೆಂಡರ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಹಣ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಸೆಟಲ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That also we will discuss that later. Okay. Now the question comes relating. I hope everyone has understood the concept. Concept illige artha agide ankoltana. Iga barudu, sir. Here, ಯಾವ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? So naturally we will go to the profit sharing ratio. As usual, we are used to going to the profit sharing ratio. So now profit sharing ratio will take the we will do the then distribute ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, deficiency loss and distribute ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. But there was a very important case law over here in London, okay, which has impacted our rules also, our partnership account also. Before we got our independence, this case law came into existence. So we followed, after independence also, we followed the same rule. Gardner versus Murray ಅಂತ ಒಂದು important case law ಉಂಟು London courts ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದದ್ದು. The same has been followed even in that partnership act. ನಮ್ಮ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. The case study as per this particular rule itself. Here there were 3 partners in the firm, Gardner, Murray, and there was one more partner known as Wilkins. Gardner, Murray, and Wilkins. So partnership firm was getting dissolved. Wilkins was short of funds. Wilkins was going insolvent. So that time Gardner and Murray were asked to get money to the firm. So the problem was in the firm, Garner was having enough balance. Andre Garner ಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗ ನೋಡಿ P ಇದು ಹಣ ಸಾಕಾಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. P has debit balance. P has to get money. R has enough balance. R the credit side is more. The 29,000 is the credit total. Debit total is 21,500. So R has balance. And Q has balance. R is insolvent. R ಇದು ಹೋಯ್ತು 600 rupees ಅವತ್ತು ತರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತ ಆಯ್ತು, ಹೀಗೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಇದ್ದದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ Garner had enough sufficient credit balance in the firm. Murray had debit balance, and Wilkins had debit balance. So Murray and Wilkins had to get money to the firm. ಅವರಿಬ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಹಣ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಫರ್ಮ್ಗೆ. ಯಾರು? ಮರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಲ್ಕಿನ್ಸ್. Garner was going to get money from the firm. Garnerಗೆ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಫರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಗ ಇದು ಮರೆಗೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮರೆ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್, ನಾನು ನಂದು ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ತರಬೇಕು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ನಾನು ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ತರಬೇಕು, ಯಾರು? ವಿಲ್ಕಿನ್ಸ್ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ನಾನು ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಿ ಹಣ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಫರ್ಮ್ಗೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಗಾರ್ನರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಮನಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹಣ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಇಂದ. ಅವ ಎಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ ತರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಮನಿ ಈವನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಬೇರಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ಕಿನ್ಸ್ ಲಾಸ್. He is getting money from the firm. So this Murray was not very happy about. So he went to the courts. He said you should not take profit sharing ratio. Profit sharing ratio ಅರ್ಥ ಎಂತ? ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆದದ್ದು. ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಇದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಇದ್ದು ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿಯನ್ನು ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಆ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೈಟ್. ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್. Murray's argument was we will not ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆಗುವ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆಗುವ ಲಾಸಸ್. ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಜಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವ್ ಎಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುವುದು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾಸ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಲಾಸಸ್, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು. ಇದೀಗ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ವೆನ್ಸಿಯಿಂದ ಬರುವ ಲಾಸ್ ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಲಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಆದದಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತದ ಏನೋ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಗೆ ಹಣ ತರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ಕಿನ್ಸ್ ಗೈ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮನಿ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಫರ್ಮ್, we have to bring that money. We will get it, but not in the profit or loss sharing ratio, not in that PSR that we had decided. Are you understanding this? So his argument was we should not take profit sharing ratio for dividing the deficiency loss. Our deficiency loss and the divide madlike profit loss ratio now consider madbardu. Then what ratio to consider kelitakke? His argument was we have to consider capital ratio, because capital signifies how much money we have put in the business, what is our stakes in the business. So capital ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋವೇ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಗೆ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆದ, ಆಗ ಅವನ ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು among the remaining partners. So in that case, no taking PSR, we have to take the capital ratio. Capital ratio means the capital invested into the business. So how much ever capital they have invested in the business, in that ratio we will have to distribute this. So it will not be in 3:2 in this case, it will be in the capital ratio. Now there will be a question. So fixed capital method ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಫ್ಲಕ್ಚುಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ 20,000 is P's capital, Q's capital is 20,000. R you forget, R is not there in the scene only. On the loss and now distribute ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. So if we take this ratio, it will be 2:2. Or should I even consider the current account balance? Current account balance only 500, 900 rupees, 9,000 unto. So should I take in the ratio of 2,500 and 29,000? The answer is fixed capital firm maintain ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ we will take fixed capital ratio. The firm is maintaining fixed capital method, then the ratio for distributing the deficiency will be what ratio? It will be the fixed capital ratio. It will be the fixed capital ratio. So if the firm is not maintaining fixed capital methods, they are maintaining normal capital account and they maintain ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. In that case, we will take their fluctuating capital, whatever the capital account balance is there, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಡ್ತೇವೆ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಡಿಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಡಿಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ in the process ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಮುಂಚೆ whatever the balances were there, ಅದೇ ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಡ್ತೇವೆ. So this is all about Gardner versus Murray. ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೇ for now you just understand this much practical implication ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ when we do the problem. So 600 was the deficiency. Now it will be divided in their fixed capital ratio, which was equal, right? 20,000, 20,000. So it will be 300, 300. So illi ಆ 300 ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. 600 rupees. I will be debiting it to P and Q, 300, 300. So the journal entry is P's capital account debit, Q's capital account debit 300, R's capital account 600. So allige R's capital account settle ಆಗ್ತದೆ. We have distributed his deficiency loss. We call that as deficiency loss. Whatever money he was not able to get has been distributed to the remaining partners, that is remaining solvent partners, in their capital ratio, not the profit sharing ratio, capital ratio. Thanks to Gardner versus Murray, Murray won the case. The courts also, agreed with Murray that we should not take profit sharing ratio for deficiency loss distribution. Profit sharing ratio consider ಮಾಡಬಾರದು ಅಂತ ಅವನ ವಾದ ಇತ್ತು, and the court said he is right. Will not take the profit sharing ratio for it. We will take the capital ratio for it. Then we settle their accounts. ಈಗ P ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ Q ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್, ಅದ್ರ ನಂತರ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ನಾವು R ಇದು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿದು ಅದ್ರ ನಂತರ P and Q will be closed. So what will be the balance in P and Q's account? Can you total up P's account again? 39,800. 39,800 by bank. How much is the balance in P's capital account? What is the balance you get? $11,300. Is that right? And what about Q? 29,000 is the total. What's the balance for Q's capital account? It's on this side, to bank account. 21,800. So that is 7,200. All right. Here also the amounts will change. 7,200. R is getting only 300. P will end up getting 11,300. So ಮೊದಲಿದು solution ಅಲ್ಲಿ P was getting only 11,000. Now he will be bringing in 11,300 because 300 rupees of R also he will bring in. R was getting 900 in our earlier solution, but R does not have that much. He has only 300 rupees, so he's getting 300. Q ಗೆ ನಾವು 7,500 ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೊದಲ solution ಅಲ್ಲಿ, but now we are giving him only 7,200 because he is bearing the loss of the 300 rupees loss in our bear ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. Are you understanding this? Are you all getting a holistic picture of what happened? So R was not able to get full 900 rupees. R was able to get only 300 rupees. So that remaining 600 rupees, P in the 300 recover ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, Q in the 300 recover ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So P 11,000 ಅವನು ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ 300 ಮಾಡಿ ಅವನಿಂದ 11,300 ತೆಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. Q ಗೆ ಫರ್ಮ್ 7,500 ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 300 ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಖಾಲಿ 7,200 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. So this is how we deal if any of the partners goes insolvent in the firm. This is all the accounting that we do. Can we write down some notes about this, Gardner versus Murray? Yes. Please write. You wrote the heading insolvency of a partner, right? First point, right? Point wise in that, point wise Barili. Insolvency of a partner refers to insolvency of a partner refers to the situation where refers to the situation where a partner is not able to a partner is not able to bring the money bring the money due to the firm due to the firm at the point of dissolution at the point of dissolution. Next point, in the case of insolvency of a partner, in the case of insolvency of a partner, the amount of deficiency, the amount of deficiency will be distributed will be distributed among the solvent partners among the solvent partners in their capital ratio in their capital ratio following the decision following the decision laid down laid down in the Gardner versus Murray judgment. In the Gardner versus Murray judgment. Underline the words capital ratio. Underline the words capital ratio. Next point. If the firm is maintaining capital accounts, if the firm is maintaining capital accounts, under fixed capital method, then the fixed capital ratio Then the fixed capital ratio will be considered. Then the fixed capital ratio will be considered. Next line, next point. If the firm is maintaining the fluctuating capital method, if the firm is maintaining the fluctuating capital method, then the ratio will be determined. Then the ratio will be determined on the basis of. Then the ratio will be determined on the basis of the closing balances. The closing balances in the capital account. In the capital account of the partners. Of the partners before giving effect to dissolution. Before giving effect to dissolution. Before giving effect to dissolution. Are we done? Yes or no? Are we done? Right. Yes. Where were you, Deepak? You're joining now. I did not see your name from the beginning. Yes. Okay, we will take a small break, and after the break, we will continue. Oh, you're waiting on YouTube. From now, I don't think we'll have class on YouTube. It will be on Zoom itself, which is better, which is good. It is good. So we'll take a break, 15 minutes, same session. I'll be waiting here only. Take your break, 6:55. I will continue at 6:55. Yeah. You Hello, can I restart? No, this won't be uploaded on YouTube later. This is Zoom only. You have to watch live. I think so. YouTube, to no. Shall we start? Are you all back? Did you all take your break? So now we have a mammoth task. We have to finish three questions in the next 1.5 hours. Can we do it? If you cooperate, we can do it. Shall we? Shall we start? Yes, yes. You have to use your calculators fast. You have to put the numbers fast on the chat box. So all that is your responsibility. You know, no, I don't have calculator with me. Uh, so if you do that on time, then we can, go through quickly. Right. So now let's take out illustration number 5. No, illustration 5. 1 second. Let me just see. Illustration 4, 4, 4, not 5, 4. Illustration 4. What is the page number? Illustration 4. What page number is it on? It is on page number 10.220, 220th page. 10th chapter has how many pages? 220 pages. God, such a big chapter. Booke ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್ accounts. Yes. A, B, C, D sharing profits in the ratio 4:3:2:1 decided to dissolve the partnership on 31st March 22 when their balance sheet was as under. So creditors 15,700, employee provident fund 6,300, capital accounts 40,20,000. So capital accounts, there are four partners A, B, C, and D, and I'm seeing capital account of only two of them. Where is CD? It's on the asset side. That means they have negative capitals. ಹಣ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅವರಿಗೆ. Bank debtors, stock, prepaid expenses, plant and machinery, patents, C's capital, D's capital. Okay. Following information is given to you. One of the creditors took some of the patents whose book value was 5,000 at a valuation of 3,200. Balance of the creditors were paid at a discount of 400. There was a joint life policy of 20,000 not mentioned in the balance sheet, and this was surrendered for 4,500. The remaining assets were realized as at the following values: debtors 10,800, stock 15,600, plant and machinery 12,000, and patents at 60% of their book values. Expenses of realization amounted to 1,500. D became insolvent, and a dividend of 25 paisa in a rupee was received in respect of the firm's claim against his estate. Prepare the necessary ledger accounts. So as usual, I'm going to do, how many ledger accounts do we do? 3 ledger accounts: realization account, partners capital account, and cash or bank here. What do they have? Bank account. Draw the formats, please. Partners capital account will have 4 partners. All the 2 partners have a negative balance. Are you ready with the formats? I am ready. Almost. For four partners, no? Okay. First one, realization account. 1 second, I'll put the screen back. Realization account. Start dismantling the balance sheet, please. Asset side on the dismantle modeling start ಮಾಡಿ first again. One minute, I'll be back. 1 minute. Okay. Can you see the screen? Is the screen visible? Yes. Realization account. Amount. Yes. Bank account opening balance. It will come in the bank. We will have to do the bank account. 535. To balance brought down. Debit balance, right? Next. Debtors. Realization account. 15,850. Stock. 25,200. Prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses also will come over here. What do you mean by prepaid expenses? We might have paid some rent, for example, rent in advance. So now dissolution aguvaga, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್, ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ರೆಂಟ್, ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡು. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಫರ್ಮ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಎನಿ ಮೋರ್. ಸೊ 800 rupees ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ. ಅವಾಗ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಕೊಡೋದೇ ಕೂಡ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ 800 rupees ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಪಾಪ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ 800 ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆರ್ ಯು ಮೈಟ್ ಸೇ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ನೀನು 800 rupees ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ, ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್, ಇನ್ನು ಕೊಡುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಷಿನರಿ ರಿಕವರಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾನೆ, ರಿಕವರಿ ಆಗದಿದ್ರೆ ಬರೆಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಟು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಷಿನರಿ. $20,000. Patents. You know what is patents? Patents ಗೊತ್ತುಂಟಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಂತ ಅಂತ? It is basically intangible asset. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಮಾರ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು. We can sell this also for a price. C's capital account, D's capital account will come in the partners capital accounts. Debit side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. These are debit balances. Yes. To balance brought down. Debit side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಫಾರ್ ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿ 3,200 and 8,415. Next, on the liability side, I have creditors. Creditors will be written over here in the realization account, 15,700. Employees Provident Fund. Whom does this belong to? Employees Provident Fund. This is basically the retirement fund of the employees. It belongs to the employees, ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ಗೆ. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮನಿ. ಆಲ್ದೋ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರಿಟೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡುದು, ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನಾವೇ ಫರ್ಮೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. ಅವ್ರು ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ಕ ಕಾಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು, ಫರ್ಮೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಈಗಲೇ ಆ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ. ಅದು ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್, ಉಳಿದ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್. ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟು, 40,000 and 20,000. Is everyone doing it with me? Can I have everyone say yes on the chat box once? Let's see how many of you know to use computer and how many of you know to use your keyboard and put yes or no on the chat box. Okay. 4 of them, 5 of them, 6 of them. Okay. 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 I'm not going to count all of you. All right. Still, I did not see all the names. Anyway, so now we are done with dismantling the balance sheet. Full balance sheet and now dismantle ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ತು. Assets ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್, liability side ಇದ್ದದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಆಯ್ತು. Now let's go through the adjustment or information given. Following information is given to you. One of the creditors took some of the patents whose book value was 5,000 at a valuation of 3,200. Balance of the creditors were paid at a discount of 400. Okay. See, listen to this very carefully. Patents ಈಗ ನನ್ನ 8,000 rupees ಇದು patents ಉಂಟು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ patents whose book value is 5,000. So 8,000 is the total book value. Out of that, 5,000 is the book value with the patents. No, one partner has taken over, not partner, who has taken over? Creditor has taken over at 3,000, taken over by creditor at rupees 3,200. Our 3,200 ಗೆ take over ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಒಬ್ಬ partner, ಒಬ್ಬ creditor has taken over. Okay, what to do with this if a creditor takes over? See, when we are making payment to a creditor, what is the journal entry? If we are making any payment to creditor, the journal entry is creditor, or here we say realization account, right? Because creditor account gets paid to bank account. But we are not giving him any cash, rather he's taking over an asset. So I'll say to patent. But again, patent is an asset. It's been written to realization account. So the journal entry is realization to realization. Are you understanding? ಒಂದು liability ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, so liability account will be debited. Instead of debiting the liability account, I will debit realization account. And one asset is also coming down here because the liability, the creditor is taking over an asset. So in that case, I will credit the asset, but asset account is also not there here. We have transferred it to realization. So the entry will be realization to realization. When the liability takes over an asset, the journal entry is realization account debit to realization account, and we don't make a entry for it. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು journal entry pass ಮಾಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ for the assets taken over. Okay, so what we will do is we will need working notes now, because what have they said? Balance of the creditors. I told you that point yesterday also, right? Assets taken over by liabilities, entry is not made in the books. Okay, balance of the creditors were paid at a discount of 400 is what they have said. So let's calculate how much is paid. Calculation of working note 1. Guys, are you all understanding? Amount paid to creditors. When I say guys, I also mean the girls, okay? Guys, I'm not strictly saying just male. Okay. Just clarifying. Tomorrow you should not say Soros, sex hostel asks only girls, guys only if they're understanding. He doesn't care about the girls at all. He's very mean towards girls and all. You should not say no. Okay. Balance due to the creditors. How much is the balance due to creditors? Is to balance onto balance sheet ಅಲ್ಲಿ. How much is payable to the creditors? 15,700. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಟೇಕ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು? Now what value should I take ಇಲ್ಲಿ? Should I take 5,000 or should I take the takeover value? ಅವರು 5,000 book value with the patents ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ 3,200. So what should I consider over here? Should I consider to calculate the balance? Should I take 5,000 or 3,200? Oh, Deepak is saying difference ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವ. No, not like that. It should be taken. ಈಗ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಟೋಟಲ್ 15,700 ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅವ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಇದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ನಾನು 5,000 ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಡುದ, 3,200 ಕೂಡ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಡುದ? ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಟೇಕ್ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಎಗ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವ? 3,200. ಸೊ ಟೇಕ್ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಆಲ್ದೋ ನನ್ನ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 5,000 unto, but the creditor has agreed to take it over only for 3,200. Are you following? So 3,200 will be the takeover value of the patent. So ಉಳ್ದದಿನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಇನ್ನು ಕೂಡ? 15,700 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3,200 ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾವ. ಉಳ್ದದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕೀಗ? ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್? ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ 12,500. Am I paying all of this 12,500 to the creditor? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ. Balance of the creditors, we paid it a discount of 400. So we are taking a discount from him. So how much do we end up paying to him? Creditors ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನಾವು? 12,100 rupees. ಇಷ್ಟು ನಾನು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ 15,700 ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ನಾನು ಫುಲ್ 15,700 ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನಿಗೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಉಳಿದದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು 400 rupees ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಉಳಿದದ ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು, 12,100 rupees. So the journal entry is bank account will be credited, realization account will be debited to bank creditors. Working note 12,100. Sir, what about the patents taken over by the creditor? What is the entry for that? There is no journal entry for that. We will not pass any journal entry for that. You can just write over here note in the working note only. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ನೋಟ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. No journal entry, or rather you can write like this: no entry is passed for the asset taken over by a liability. By a liability. Therefore, no entry for patents taken over by the creditor. Always remember this. It abhyasa agtada. As we do more questions, you'll get used to this. But I hope you have understood this. Okay, next up. There was one more liability, right? Creditor ಆಯ್ತು, Employee Provident Fund. What have they done with Employee Provident Fund? There was a joint life policy and this was surrendered. It's an unrecorded asset. And oh, Employee Provident Fund enta kodlilla avaru, but what do we assume in that case? If a liability ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಂತಾದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ question ಅಲ್ಲಿ, what do we assume? Yesterday I told you, no, ನಾವು liability list ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು, liability ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬರೀತೇವೆ. ಕೊಡದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we consider that it is paid at book value only. So it is considered that the Employee Provident Fund has been paid at this value only, 6,300. Is that clear? Always remember, if the question is silent about payment of a liability, you can write this in the margins also. It is considered that it is paid at book value. We don't have such assumption for assets. Assets ಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ assume ಮಾಡುದಿಲ್ಲ. Assets ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಾರಿದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡದಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ್ದೋ asset ಉಂಟು, if they don't mention that that asset was sold or that asset was realized, I don't consider as if it was realized at book value and all. This is only for liabilities. ಇದು ಖಾಲಿ liabilities ಗೆ. Have you written this down? Okay. Is there any expenses relating to realization? There's an expense, no? How much is the expense relating to realization? 1,500. Total of this, and tell me what is the total of the payments. Payments is the total is stuck to the head. 12,100 plus 6,300 is 18,400, 19,900. Yes, thank you. Remaining assets were realized at the following. There was a joint life policy of 20,000. So all of this we will write over here now. By bank account, assets realized agoga entry is bank account debit to realization account. So JLP not mentioned in the balance sheet. So it's not mentioned in the balance sheet, but it is an asset. We are receiving money. It's a gain for us. So it will be written over here. It's a gain. It will be credited. By bank account, JLP unrecorded asset. Is this bank or cash? Bank, right? I'm writing it correctly, no? Okay. Unrecorded asset. How much are we receiving? So there was a joint life policy of 20,000 rupees, and this was surrendered for 4,500. 20,000 is the cover amount. Okay. If someone had died, we would have got 20,000, but we are getting now only 4,500. Surrender value sigudu namge. So we are getting 4,500 rupees. So here I will write 4,500. 20,000 is ignored. Remaining assets realized as the following values. Debtors 10,800. Stock 15,600. Plant and machinery 12,000. Patents 60% of their book values. We had given patents to a creditor, no? Then what patents are they talking about? Patents ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲ ಒಬ್ಬನಿಗೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಉಳಿದಿದ patents even after giving him? Yes, sir. 8,000 ಇದ್ದು patents ಇತ್ತು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 5,000 book value ಇದ್ದು patents ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು. ಇನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಳಿದಿದೆ? How much is still remaining? 3,000 book value with the patents are still remaining. That is sold. For what value? 60% of their book value. This 3,000 into 60%. So this much money we have got by selling of the remaining patents, 1,800. We'll do a working note. Working note 2. Are you following this? We had total 8,000 rupees worth patents. We're not selling of all 8,000 worth patents, and that 8,000, 5,000 book value with the patents has been taken over by a creditor. So the remaining 3,000 worth patents is basically sold at 60% of its value. Calculation of amount realized from sale of patents. After takeover by creditors. So 8,000 only, 5,000 has been taken over. So 3,000 is remaining. Sale value is 3,000 into 60%. 1,800. Has everyone understood this? Have you all followed this? You can write detailed, ಇನ್ನು ಕೂಡ detailed ಬರಿಬಹುದು. Book value of the patents 8,000 minus book value of the patents taken over 5,000. Remaining book value was 3,000. Takeover value, sale value here is 3,000 into 60%. 1,800. Anything else? Nothing else. See, sir, assets ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, I don't have to do this, but let's just do it for academic purposes. We can see if any asset is left out. Debtors, they have paid money. Stock, we have sold. Plant and machinery, okay. Patent, okay. See, prepaid expenses, we haven't received anything back. That means prepaid expenses are rent ಆಯ್ತದೆ, ನಾವು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟದ್ದು ರಿಕವರಿ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ವಾಪಸ್. We don't assume that it is recovered. ಅದು ರಿಕವರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು assume ಮಾಡುದಿಲ್ಲ. It is not recovered, so it is left ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಅದು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. Liability ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Outstanding rent ಇದ್ರೆ I will assume, even if they don't give in the question that it is paid, I will assume that it is paid and I will write that, just like how I did with EPF now, right? So liabilities ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹಾಗೆ, prudence. I will consider that it is paid, but assets ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Assets of question ಕೊಡೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹಣ, we did not receive that money is what that means. What's the total? 44,700. Is that right? No. 44,700 sounds right. Okay, you're telling me the total of the whole account. Post this in the bank account. ಎರಡು entry post ಮಾಡಿ. Debit side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು ಕೂಡ, credit side ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Sale of assets also. Assets realized. What is the total of assets realized? Or rather, it should come on this side. Assets realized side. And what was the liability and expense paid? Assets realized was 44,700. The total is correct, no? 19,900. Bank account ಅಲ್ಲಿ post ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು. Is this clear? Have you all followed this? Yes. Okay, that's it. D became insolvent and a dividend of 25 paisa in a rupee. This we will see later. Now you can close the realization account. Realization account ಬಡಿ 4 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗ. Okay, which side is more? ಯಾವ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಉಂಟು? ಡೆಬಿಟ್ or credit? Debit or credit, Abhilash? Debit side is more. Okay. 89,750 is the total. By partners capital account. What is the balance? By partners capital account is to 23,050 loss. Four partners A, B, C, D. What is the PSR? 4,321. 7, 9, 10. No? 4 by 10, 3 by 10, 2 by 10, 1 by 10. Is this right? Are the amounts right? Have I written it properly? Yes. Post is in the partner's capital account. Are we done? Are we done with the posting as well? Now let's learn how to close the partner's capital account when there is insolvency. Very easy it is. Okay, first you have to see who is insolvent. ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ 4 ಜನ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ D is insolvent. So let's settle D's account first. D's account ಮಾತ್ರ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ D's account ಮಾತ್ರ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಇದ್ದು. Okay, what is the total of D's account? Debit side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುವುದು. So it is 10,715. Is the total correct? And that is the balance as well, but I will not write the balance. Then balance ಬರೆಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. What have they told over here? ಅವ್ರು ಎಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. D became insolvent. 720, is it? Sorry. Okay, 720. You know what I was doing. Just two people corrected me. It was a quiz for all of you. You had to correct me. Just Anusha and Deepak are alert. Everyone else is sleeping. That's the conclusion. Okay. Now read the question. D became insolvent and a dividend of 25 paisa in the rupee was received in respect of the firm's claim against us estate. So are we able to recover all of this 10,720? We have to recover 10,720 from him. Receivable, debit side, receivable, 10,720. Over 10,720 ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು firmಗೆ. Are we able to recover all of this 10,720 from him? The answer is no. How much are we able to recover? 20 paisa in a rupee. 20 paisa in a rupee means 25%. Just insolvency, bad debts recovery we have learned before. So 25%. How much is 10,720 into 25%? What is the amount you get? 2,680. So only that much we are able to recover. This was the balancing figure. So we are able to recover only 2,680. So what about the remaining balance? How much is remaining? 75% is remaining. What is the amount of 75% of the amount is to birthday? What is the amount? 8,000 something. How much? 8,040 rupees. 8040, right? So what about that 8040? The remaining 8040? 10,720 to 25% avatartane by bank account. Okay. What about the remaining 75%? What do we call it as? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ 8040? It is known as. It is known as. deficiency. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಡೆಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. So what about that deficiency? Who's to bear this deficiency now? ಯಾರು bear ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ deficiency 8040? The solvent partners. Who are the solvent partners? A, B, and C. In what ratio will they, bear this deficiency? In their capital ratio. Which capital ratio? Capital ratio is fluctuating capital ಇರೋದು. So capital ratio. A and B only because C capital illa. C has negative capital in the firm, so we can't. Here C will not bear anything because C does not have capital. Capital ratio ke capital irbekalla formally. So C does not have capital in the firm. He has negative capital, so C is not considered. I thought C is not considered at all in this question because he doesn't have capital. Capital ratio is only ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So capital ratio is A and B only are there. So what is their capital ratio for A and B? What is their capital ratio? The capital ratio is 40,000 is to 20,000 or 4 is to 2 or 2 is to 1. So if you simplify it, right? So 2 is to 1. So in that ratio, A and B will bear. Why will C not bear? C is also solvent, but C will not bear because there is no capital for C. Question capital illa C do. Negative capital do. So C will not bear anything. Only A and B will be bearing the loss. So that 8040 deficiency, whatever is there, will be transferred to A and B's capital account. A and B's capital account. This is basically deficiency transferred to A and B. 8040. And A and B, in what ratio will we share it? To D's capital account. This is coming from D's capital account. In what ratio? 4 is to 2. Capital ratio will ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Gardner versus Murray rule prakara. Deficiency will be transferred in capital ratio. So 8040 in 2 is to 1 ratio. In 4 is to 2 ratio, capital ratio is 4 is to 2 or 2 is to 1. Simplified. Sir, how we will come to know that it is fluctuating capital? Sir, fixed capital method is fixed capital account iರ್ತದೆ, current accounts iರ್ತದೆ. So there will be two accounts for each partner in the case of fixed capital method. One the capital account and the current account. If there is only one capital account in the firm for each partner, that means they're following fluctuating capital method. Yesterday I told you this, right? Yesterday, no? Yeah. Fluctuating capital only per partner, one capital account, one account will be there. In fixed capital method, we will have two accounts. Capital in second question, they were following fixed capital method. Take out second question and see. So there are two capital accounts there. One is capital account and the other one is current account. For each partner, we will have current account and capital account. Under fluctuating capital, we will have only one. Is that clear? So what is the amount you get? 8014, 2 is to 1 ratio. All of you understood how I got this 8040, right? That was that remaining 10,720 minus 2680. 10,720 into 75%. 1 second, the screen is gone. I'll put it back. Just 1 second. Calculate the ratio and tell me how much is the distribution. 8040 in 2 is to 1 ratio. What is the amount you get? What are the amounts you get? 8040 in 2 is to 1 ratio. 5360. Is that right? And 2680. This is how the deficiency is shared among the partners. The journal entry is A's capital account debit 5360, B's capital 2680 to D's capital 8040. C is not involved at all because capital A on the capital ratio ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. Okay, done. This is D's capital account title. Post this entry in the bank account. Our 2680 cash tartanala. Please write it. Later on we will miss. Okay. Next, routine A, B, C. Routine normally ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. Closure 40,000 is the total in A's capital account. 20,000 is C's capital account. So credit balance unto firm ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹಣ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. Firm will have to pay them money to bank account. Balancing figure for A and B. How much is it? 40,000 minus 9220 minus 5360. What is the balancing figure for A? What are the balancing figures? A and B. I am waiting. $25 420. Thank you, Pranjal. Thank you, Abhilash. What about B? What about B? What about B? I am waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. 10405. Thank you, Nashita. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Pranjal. Okay. 25 420. And who told me answer at the first two digits of that number? Who did not help me are the remaining three digits of that number. If you understand the joke, good. If you don't, feel bad. Okay. Next, for C, which side is more for C? Debit side is more for C. So 3,200 plus 4,610. 7,810. 7,810 by bank. 7,810 balancing figure. So this guy has to bring money to the firm. Our debit balance unto receivable firm. Our hana tegon barta idare. 7810. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ partners capital account ಆಯ್ತು. Post that 7810 in the bank account. Is it tallying, Sujan? Is it tallying, Meenal? Yes. Done. Yes. Super. Can we do one more question? This one is a nice question, practice question 3. Pick up practice question 3. Shall I read the question? Amit, Sumit, and Kumar are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 2:1. The partners decide to dissolve the partnership on 31st March 2022 when their balance sheet was as under. Capital accounts, Amit, Sumit, general reserve, Kumar's loan. Kumar is the partner. Uh, then loan from D. D is not a partner, D is someone else. Trade creditors, bills payable, outstanding salary. Land and building, plant and machinery, investments, book debts, stock, bank, capital withdrawn. Kumar. So see, Ibre to matra capital account carved out, although there are 3 partners, but I see only 2 people's capital account. The other guys has negative capital. That's why it's on the asset side, negative capital. Debit balance, capital account. The following information is given to you. Realization expenses amounted to 18,000, out of which 3,000 was borne by Amit. So 18,000 only, 3,000 is paid by Amit. So that will be credited to Amit's capital account. Amit is a partner. Remaining 15,000 credited to bank account. 15,000 is paid by the firm. 3,000 is paid by Amit. 18,000 ಒಟ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ out of which not 3,000 extra ಅಲ್ಲ out of 18,000 3,000 is paid by Amit, 15,000 is paid by the firm. A creditor agreed to take over the furniture of book value 12,000 at 10,800. The rest of the creditors were paid off at a discount of 6.25%. This is similar to what we did earlier. Working note, patents ಅಲ್ಲಿ take over ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು furniture take over ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So it's similar working note. The other assets realized as follows. Mark this question important. Please mark this important and pay attention when I do it. Furniture remaining taken over by Kumar at 90% of the book value. So furniture ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ creditor take over ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ. ಉಳಿದದ್ದು Kumar is a partner. Our takeover ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ at 90% of the book value. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ entry is Kumar's capital account will be debited to furniture account or to realization account. Asset ಹೋಗಿದೆ, so to realization you have to calculate what is the value. 90% of the book value or calculate ಮಾಡುವ working note ಮಾಡಿ. Stock realized at 120%. My voice is breaking, is it? ನನ್ನ voice break ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟಾ? Is my voice breaking or is it just with Abhilash? Is it fine? Is my voice fine or is it breaking? Should I do something about it or should I just be okay with it? It's fine. Okay. It's just Abhilash. Land and building realized 1,65,000. Investments is taken over by one partner. Amit is a partner at 15% discount. Okay, it's fine now. For half of his loan, he accepted plant and machinery and 7,500 cash. The remaining amount was paid at a discount of 10%. Working note Madhva, we'll see what this is. Don't worry, it's simple. Once we do it, you'll understand. Bills payable were due on an average basis 1 month after 31st March 22, but they were paid immediately on 31st March at 6% discount per annum. So you got bills payable until 12,000 rupees is the bills payable unto. But it is not actually payable now. Bills payable and that is a term a term ಮುಗಿಯುವಾಗ ಕೊಡುದು actually. But ನಾವೀಗ ಫೋರ್ಮ್ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಸೊ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಲಿಯೇ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅದ್ರ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಇನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮುಗಿಲಿಲ್ಲ ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ಡ್ ಯೆಟ್ ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೋಸ್ ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ even before the term is over. So in such cases we will get a discount. Because we are paying cash discount ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಮುಗಿಲಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಇದು ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾನು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. So I'll get a cash discount for that amount. Are you all understanding this? So that is the discount on bills payable ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. How much discount ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು ನೋಡಿ. See how much discount am I getting. They were paid immediately on 31st March at 6% discount per annum. So 6% discount per annum. Bills payable were due on an average basis of 1 month. Andre 1 month average basis ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದದ್ದು. After 1 month, I had to pay it actually. A bills payable on an average, 1 month later, I had to make the payment. I'm making payment 1 month early. So I'll get a discount for 1 month at 6% per annum. I have to calculate. So how to calculate this? What is the bills payable amount? 12,000. 12,000 into 6% into 1 by 12. We are paying this 1 month early, right? So into 1 by 12. 12,000 into 6% into 1 by 12. How much do you get? What is the amount of discount? Remaining amount we are paying. Prepare the realization account, bank account, partners capital account in the books of the firm. Let's do it. 2, 3 interesting entries are there. Yeah, 60 rupees discount. But it is, you'll all understand it. It's simple. This is an important question from your exam perspective. ಬಂದ್ರೆ 15 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. 10 to 15 marks. We don't know what is the actual marks. Institute can give the same question. Institute has done that before, right? For the latest attempt, one question they gave sole proprietor 15 marks. The same question or a similar question with different names had come once before in the exams for 20 marks. ಅದೇ question 20 marks ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ಈ ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ 15 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೆಸರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ but same question was given for 15 marks in the latest exam. So you can't say how much marks the question will come for. It depends on the institute or ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಉಂಟು ಆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೋ. So realization account, partners capital account. How many partners do we have in this question? We have 3 partners, no? Yeah, Amit, Sumit, Kumar. Cash or bank? What is it here? Bank. Generally, it is bank only. Is it cash or bank? Bank. 1 second. I should charge the pencil before we start the class, but I always forget. During the break, also, I could have charged it, but I forgot. Just 1 minute. You start dismantling the balance sheet. Okay, ready with the formats? Shall we start? What are the names of the partners? Amit Sumit Kumar, no? Or is it Sumit Amit Kumar? Amit Sumit Kumar. Okay, so land and buildings. Asset side, as usual, we start with the asset side. Land and buildings. One lakh 35,000. Plant and machinery. 45,000. And furniture. 25,500. Investments. 15,000. Book debts minus provision. So book debts will be separately written on the debit side and provision will be written on the credit side, 6,000. Net 50 for Illu Baryudilla now. 60,000 on the debit side. Debtors account only debit balance 60,000 ಇರೋದು. 6,000 credit balance provision ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಅದು credit side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾರೆ ನಾನು. Two book debts 60,000. Buy provision for bad debts 6,000. Stock 36,000. Bank will be written in the bank account. To balance brought down. 13,500. Next, capital withdrawn. This is Kumar's capital account, which is debit balance 32,400. Debit side, to balance brought down. Debit balance unto. Asset side debit balance unto ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Done. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ asset side dismantle ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯ್ತು. Now liability side. Capital accounts. Amit and Sumit 55,200. General reserve will be distributed among all the partners in their profit sharing ratio 2:2:1. 61,500. Tell me the division, please. How much do you get? 2:2:1 ratio. Divide ಮಾಡುವಾಗ. Quick. 61,500 and 2:2:1 ratio. Is it 24,300? 24,600. Okay, 24,600. 24,600. 13,000. 12,300. ಆಯ್ತು. Next, Kumar's loan, partner's loan. This is a partner's loan. Where will this come? Partner's loan. I told you yesterday. Partner related accounts now realizational, but you did that will come in the partner's capital account itself. Yes, PCA. By Kumar's loan. 15,000. Kumar account will go right. Loan from D. D is not a partner. Loan from D is an external party. This will come in realization account. Liability, credit side. 1,20,000. Trade creditors. Realization account. 30,000. Bills payable. 12,000. Outstanding salary. 7,005. Dismantling done. We have dismantled the whole balance sheet successfully. Are you all done with this? Yes. Now let's read the information. Realization expenses amounted to 18,000, out of which 3,000 was borne by Amit. Credit agreed to take over the furniture at book value of 12,000 at 10,800. The rest of the creditors. Okay, let's talk about the assets realized first. Assets ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುವ first. The assets realized as follows. Okay. The entry for asset realized was bank account debit to realization account. So by bank account. Illegal furniture remaining taken over by Kumar. So this is partners takeover. This won't come here. It will be written as by Kumar's account later. Stock 120% of the book value. So what is the book value of stock? 36,000. 36,000 into 120%. How much is the value you're getting? 36,000 into 120%. What is the amount? 43,200. Next, book debts. 12,000 of the debts proved bad, remaining were fully realized. Total book debts is 60,000. In this, 12,000 is considered bad, it seems. Now we're not able to realize. So, how much money am I getting book debts early? The provision 6,000, you can just ignore, they're not relevant. Now, already anticipate ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲಾಸ್ ಅದ್ರಾಗಿನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು ಈಗ. How much money am I realizing? 48,000. Total book debts is 60,000, and that 12,000 is loss. 48,000 is what we have received. Land and building realized 1,65,000. Investments taken over by Amit. So ಹಣ ಬರುದಿಲ್ಲ Amit's account ಇಂದ ನಾನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಮತ್ತೆ. For half of his loan, he accepted plant and machinery and 7,500 cash. So plant and machinery ಕೂಡ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬ take over ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ. D has taken over. So ಹಣ ಬರುದಿಲ್ಲ. The remaining amount was paid at a discount. So this is D's loan ಕೊಡುದು ಹೇಗಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Bills payable were due. This is also payment relating to bills payable. Done. That's all. Assets ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಹಣ ಬರುದು assets ಇಂದ. What is the total? 256,200, is it? 2,56,200. Is everyone clear with this? Have you all followed how I got these amounts? Yes. Now, Partner takeover ಮಾಡಿದಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರೆಯುವ. We will write about all the bank entries first. You can write this ಬರ್ದು ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು to realization accounts, assets realized. What was the amount? 256,200. Yeah. 2,56,200. Now let's go to expenses and liabilities. Realization expenses amounted to 18,000, out of which 3,000 was borne by Amit. So adu barudilla khali. Now kottadu bartade cash alli, expenses 15,000 only. I hope this is clear. 18,000 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3,000 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. For this we will have to pass a separate entry. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ separate entry pass ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಮಾಡೋ. ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡೋ. A creditor agreed to take over furniture of book value 12,000 at 10,800. The rest of the creditors were paid off at a discount of 6.25%. Okay. Working note. ಕೆಲವು working note ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಉಂಟೀಗ. Calculation of amount paid to creditors. Amount due towards creditors. Look at the balance sheet. How much is the amount due towards creditors? Is to balance due onto creditors. Total 30,000. Okay. A creditor agreed to take over the furniture of book value 12,000 at 10,800. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಎಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು? ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ 12,000 or should I take 10,800? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾದ್ರೆ 30,000 ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಗೆ. ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್, ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಬೆಂಚ್, ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ 10,800 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಟೇಕ್ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 10,800 ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಇನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಬಾಕಿ ಉಳಿದದ್ದು ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅವನಿಗೆ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್. ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್? ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್? 19,200. 19,200 ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಕಿ ಉಂಟು ಅವನಿಗೆ. 12,000 ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡುದಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Here you are not minusing 12,000 because that time the creditor will be angry. Creditor, you can't say 18,000 ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ, 12,000 ಇದು ಫರ್ನಿಚರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನೀನು. No, you have to take the takeover value. You have agreed a value, no, 10,800. So you have to take that value. Remaining you have to pay. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. How much discount am I asking? What is the percentage of discount? 6%. Oh. 1 second. Okay, are we done? Sorry for that. There was some issue. 18,000. So this will be written over here. Are you guys there? Yes. Creditors, 18,000. Next, what else do we have? What are the liabilities do we have? The rest of the creditors it paid off at a discount. Furniture, we will see this later. There is loan of D. For half of his loan, D accepted plant and machinery and 7,500 cash. The remaining was paid at a discount of 10%. So let's calculate how much we have paid to D. Is D's loan? No, 1,20,000. So the working note 2. Calculation of amount paid to D. Calculation of amount paid to D. Okay. Now here, loan total 1,20,000 Illinois. What have they said? They have told over here that for half of his loan, half means what? 50% of his loan, D accepted plant and machinery and 7,500 cash. So we are calculating how much cash is paid to him, right? So if he's taken over any asset, again, I will tell you here the takeover of the furniture, we don't record this in the books. Asset taken over by a liability, we don't take over. We don't write it in the books. Even here, D is taking over some plant and machinery. No entry will be made for that. So only I will take how much cash is paid. How much cash did we pay for half of his loan? First half, what cash did we pay? How much is the amount of cash I paid for the first half? I paid 7,500 cash. Are you all with me? Are you guys following? Are you all listening? For the first half, I paid 7,500 cash. And we've given a plant and machinery also, but that does not matter. 45,000 into plant and machinery ಕೂಡ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದಾನವ. But ಅದು ನಂಗೆ ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡುದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಖಾಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಪೇಟಿಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡುದು. The remaining amount was paid at a discount of 10%. How much is remaining? For the first half, half means 60,000. He has taken cash has paid 7,500. For remaining half, what is the remaining half? Remaining half is 50,000. Sorry, remaining half is how much? 60,000 is the remaining half. Discount is there. How much discount am I getting? 1,20,000 only. This one, the first half was 7,500 payment ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. For this, discounted 10% and down to 6,000 rupees. So I'm paying 54,000 cash. Total non-cash ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. What is the total amount of cash I end up paying to him? I end up paying 61,500 cash. So please understand 1,20,000 is the loaner. Adrilli first half, which is 60,000 again, and 7,500 matra cash kottadu. Uldadu plant and machinery kotte. For the second half, that is another 60,000 I had to pay to D. Adu nanu 60,000 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10% ನಂಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು 6,000 into 54,000 ನಾನು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. It's a 10% discount, right, on the 60,000. So we've given 54,000 cash to him. Total 61,500 is the cash paid. Have you all understood this calculation? He's taken over some asset, plant and machinery. No journal entry for that. No entry for that. You don't have to consider it at all. Just amount paid calculate ಮಾಡುದು ನಾವು. Read that sentence again, you will be able to follow. It's simple. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Deepak, understood? Okay. Next, bills payable were due. Payment of bills payable, we will do a here only we can calculate, but we'll do a note for this also. Bills payable were due on an average basis of 1 month. This I discussed with you already. Bills payable 1 month in the time it nange, but nan eagle payment because we're dissolving the firm. So we're going to get a discount, and the discount rate is 6% per annum. Annum ಲೆಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ calculate ಮಾಡುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನು calculate ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. So working note 3, calculation of amount payable towards bills payable. Rather, calculation of amount paid ಅಂತ ಬರಿ. Outstanding balance and bills payable. How much is the balance? Bills payable is the balance is 60,000 or 1 lakh. How much? What is the amount? 12,000. 12,000 discount. Per annum discount ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. We have to calculate for just 1 month. What is the discount given? 6%. Just 6%. So 6%. 12,000 into 6% into 1/12. Not full 6% discount ಅಲ್ಲ 12,000 ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ. It is outstanding only for 1 month, right? So only 1 month ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ನಂಗೆ on an average basis. Amount paid 11,940. So 11,940. This is bills payable. See if we have missed any liability. All the points done. Now just look at this. Is there any liability left? So Kumar's loan is partner's loan. Loan from D is done. Trade creditors is done. Bills payable is done. Outstanding salaries. They have not mentioned anything about outstanding salary. What do we assume if they don't mention anything? That it is paid at book value. We assume that it is paid at book value. 7,500. ಇಂತ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೇಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ? No, there's 61,500 there. What's the total? $1,13,940. Is that right? Is Nishita's answer correct? Can I go ahead with that? Yes. Okay, next. Now let's see all the takeovers by the partners and all. Realization expenses amounted to 18,000, out of which 3,000 was borne by the partner. Amit, no? So to Amit's capital account. 3,000. Realization expense. Credit this to Amit. The entry is realization account debit to Amit's capital account. Next, so ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ first point ಆಯ್ತು. Second point ಆಗಿದೆ. Furniture taken over, remaining taken over by Kumar at 90% of the book value. So furniture we have 25,500, but Kumar is taking over remaining. That means some is taken over by creditor, right? So we'll do a working note. Calculation of amount of furniture taken over by Kumar. Book value of furniture. How much is the book value of the furniture in the balance sheet? What is the book value of the furniture in the balance sheet? You tell me. I'm not going to scroll up. You tell me on the chat box. What is the book value of the furniture in the balance sheet? It was 25,500. What is the book value of the furniture taken over? Not the taken over value. You have to tell me the book value of the furniture taken over. ಎಷ್ಟು book value ಇದು furniture takeover ಆಗಿದೆ 12,000. It was taken over at a lower value. That's not relevant for me here. I'm calculating how much is the remaining book value. How much is the remaining book value? 13,500. Is Kumar taking it at the book value itself? Is Kumar taking the furniture at 13,500, or is it at a lesser value? It's a lesser value, right? How much discount? How much are we reducing? What is the percentage? Kumar is taking it over at what percentage they have said? 90%. 90% of the book value. So the book value of the remaining furniture was 13,500. Takeover value by Kumar is 90% of this. Here you have to calculate the remaining book value and you have to multiply with 90%, not 10,800 minus Madudalaili, takeover value minus Madudalaili. Here you have to take the book value. 25,500 12,000 is our account. Correct? No. Yeah, 12,000 was taken over. So remaining is 13,500 at the 90%. How much do you get this as? 13,500 into 90%. What is the amount you get? 12,150. What is the journal entry for this? If a partner is taking over an asset, partner's capital account is debited, realization account is credited. By Kumar's capital account. If you're not understanding some calculation or some entry, mark it. And after the class is over or tomorrow morning, just sit and see what exactly it was about. You will understand. These are simple things, but process agli time tegoltade. There's nothing to worry about it. Okay, stock done, book debts done, land and building. Investments was taken over by Amit. By Amit's capital account. At 15% discount. I will not do a working note here, only you can do 15,000 into 85%. 15% discount, so into 85%. How much is the value you get? 15,000 into 85%. What's the amount? 12,750. Post both of this in the capital accounts. Yes. Nothing else, no? Done. Close the realization account, find out the balance in the realization account. What's the total of the realization account? Which side is more? Please calculate and tell me. Which side is more, debit or credit? Credit side is more. What's the total of the credit side? 126, 156, 168, 175, 500. No, I can't do it. I need your help. 456, 600. Okay. And what is the balancing figure? 23, 160. Amit Sumit Kumar. What is the profit sharing ratio? 2 is to 2 is to 1, right? Please recheck everyone is getting the same answer. Yes. What is the amount you get? 2 by 5, 2 by 5, 1 by 5. What are the amounts you get? 9264, 9264, and what? 4632. Is that correct? Yes. Is anyone going insolvent here? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ insolvent ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? Question ಓದಿ. Is anyone going insolvent? No one is going insolvent. ಎಲ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹಣ ಉಂಟು. So total up to bank by bank ಬರೀರಿ. Make sure that we have not missed any entry in these accounts. We were posting immediately, but ಯಾವುದು entry miss ಆಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು. What's the total? Amit's account. 55, 200. Oh, my phone has a calculator. I realized just now. Sure. I will use it. 92,064. So to bank. $79,314. This is 8964. 8964. The other guy, which side is more for him? Debit side is more. 44,550. What is the balancing figure for him? Correct, no? Yeah. Kumar's balancing figure is by bank 12,618. Is that right? Yes. Is the bank account tallying? Tell me the total of the bank account. Post it to the bank account and tell me the total of the bank account. Does it tally? It does. Yes. That's it. Done. Such a big problem. Working notes say to Sumar. Just do it again. You'll understand it's not difficult. Don't label it as difficult. It's easy. Just interpretation, my level. Right. Are we done? Shall I stop the session? Are you done? Say thank you or say good night or say bye or say something and go. Yes. Before you leave. Don't just leave shamelessly. Okay. Thank you. Ram Ram. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.